What would you rank Perfect among the greatest IC champions? He's not
Oh,
there yet, though. He'll eventually become that guy in a month later. But
good question.
I remember there was a time people thought he was the greatest IC champion of all time.
Because I mean, because when I first started, there was Tito Santana doesn't get anywhere near enough credit. He,
I agree. I agree with that.
because I mean, he was a two-time champion, and at one point he was arguably like the number two babyface in the whole company to Hogan.
Hmm.
Um, and he had a lot of great IC title feuds with Don Morocco, with Greg Valentine, um, even with Savage before up until Savage beat him for the title, and even afterwards, because they had a bunch of rematches.
Yeah.
Um, so I think you can't you gotta give Tito his credit. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. Um, if I'm gonna do like a top five, just out of people I watched, um, he might be top five. Because
Yeah.
he had it for a few months here, then he won it back, and then he held it up until the following year when he lost to Brett. Um,
The SummerSlam in
yeah,
'91, great match by the way. And Perfect was hurt in that match too. He had a bad
yeah,
back
yeah.
at the time.
His like Brett's talked about it, like his back, Perfect's back was like completely just shot, and but he still went through. He went through the match, and Brett's always given him the utmost amount of credit for that.
Hmm. I think Duke from Duke Loves Wrestling, our good friend and comrade, we did a podcast actually about a year or so ago, and we ranked our top 10 IC top champions. And I think I had Perfect in my top 10, obviously, but I can't remember I had him exactly. And obviously looking back, obviously at the end, there was a period where I did not watch for a while, and obviously since then, the Miz has done a lot of great work as that belt's as that belt holder, and people put him a lot in the top one or two greatest. But I know Duke had Honky Tonk Man number one, and certainly I would argue that is the greatest singular title reign of that belt. I definitely will say that. Um, I would probably put Perfect top five. I mean, I look at the Miz, Honky, obviously. I still say Warrior's my number one, but I've explained to you why I've always said Warrior the one for me, because he's the only guy that made that belt feel equal to the world title. At least when I was living through that era. Um, but yeah, Perfect's number five is in the top five definitely.
Well, I think I definitely have him top 10. Because
Oh,
for
that's
me,
a top 10 is definitely yeah.
okay. I mean, if I had to just without putting them in any order, um, Tito, Savage, Honky Tonk Man, um, yeah, I'd put Perfect in the top 10. Um, Sean,
What
Miz,
what about Brett?
it's top 10 probably, yeah. Yeah, I'd put it top 10. Um, Gunther, so that's eight that I have right there.
Yeah, that's eight right there. What
Um,
about Razor?
how long like when he won it, how long did
He won it four times though.
okay.
I think.
Okay, well then and then he won it in one of like he was involved in a couple of the biggest matches ever,
Yeah,
those
ladder
ladder
matches.
matches. So
Yeah, both ladder matches.
so yeah, that's nine. Let me see, I would need one more. I don't know who
Oh, perfect flex.
maybe Chris Jericho. He would
Hmm.
pick that one.
I remember
Um,
as a kid, I used to pop every time Perfect did this move. I was always pop perfect flex. Could you have seen Perfect as a world champion?
um,
Probably not in this era because of the way they were booked.
yeah, I mean, if he was if like during Attitude Era, definitely. Like any subsequent era, yes, just not this era because again, the way the title was booked, and the way the world champions were booked, no, but definitely like yeah, during you know subsequent eras, yeah, and he was one of the last, I would say, like really credible AWA world champions
Hmm. By
because
the way, Oh,
the
go
kind
ahead.
of the blueprint was like the first kind of seeds of what he would be in the WWF as a heel were kind of
Hmm.
planted in the AWA World Title reign.
By the way, Perfect was undefeated going into this year. This is not his first loss.
Yeah,
This is his second loss. He's now on a losing streak. His first loss was actually at WrestleMania 6 against who? Brutus the fucking
yeah,
Barber Beefcake. For the record, people shit on that all the time, and I get why they shit on that. But I understand why they did it. It makes sense when you consider what plans they have for Brutus at the time. Brutus was
yeah,
supposed to be the guy to get the IC title later this year, and then the accident happened with his the boating accident happened in July of that year. But people shit on that because how the fuck is Perfect losing his first match to not Hulk Hogan, who's been feuding for like at this point 4 months, not Warrior, but to Brutus Beefcake. The reason
yeah.
why is that Brutus Beefcake was being set as the next IC champion. That was a plan. So technically, it's understandable why they decided to book it the way they did. I'm not mad about that actually. Like unlike everybody else is.